Hello, 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 and thank you for joining. This is SBO Prime Time, and these are our girls. Master Coach Michelle, Wadeline with Grand Rev Financial, Carissa with Jazz Poetry Cafe, and Jolinda with Claim It Teas. And we are
Hi.
here to bring you alive tonight about networking. So please go ahead and take the time to share this stream. Come on board with your questions. We are creating a whole new platform and we are bringing it big with SBO Prime Time. So go ahead and introduce everyone and allow them to briefly tell us about their business. Wadeline?
Hello, everyone. My name is Wadeline Charles. I'm with Grand Rep Financial. We are a full-service accounting firm. We specialize in CFO service, bookkeeping services, tax services, payroll, and wealth generation through life insurance. I am excited to be here tonight with these beautiful ladies. If you do need any financial advice, any expertise in the financial realm, definitely feel free to reach out to Grand Rep Financial at grandrevfinancial.com or shoot us a DM on our social media sites at Grand Rep Financial.
Awesome. And Carissa?
Hi, yes, I am Carissa, CEO and founder of Jazz Poetry Cafe and No Fear Productions. And we do just about everything there is with local artists and now small business owners. We manage artists, we do promotions, we do bookings, we do events. Jazz Poetry Cafe is a platform for local up and coming artists and business owners to gain exposure to go from where they are to where they want to be. We rally the troops behind you and behind your efforts to help further your reach. So not only do we provide good entertainment with live bands singing and poetry every first Friday, but we also do mentorships with artists and small business owners. So if that sounds like something that could be assistance to you or anybody you know, please reach out to us. If you want to get tickets for our next event, July 3rd, reach out to us at jazzpoetrycafe.com or all social media.
Awesome. Master Coach Michelle.
It is Miss Get You Together herself. So I am Master Coach Michelle Kennedy, and I am eager to assist you with getting those areas in your life that may just not be quite right together. You can reach me on all social media platforms at Coach Michelle Kennedy. We also offer a life coaching certification course, and it's an 18-week course, and afterward you will be equipped to impact, impart, and empower others to impact, impart, and empower others. It is indeed a pleasure to be on the platform tonight. I look forward to getting you together.
And our special guest, Jolinda Cole with Claim It Teas.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Jolinda with Claim It Teas, the t-shirt that lets you stand in someone else's shoes. That is a startup. We're a startup right now. If you go to claimitees.com, though, you can tell your story and attach it to a claim, and we can get the we can use stories to tell people, to connect people, and build compassion in the world, and that's what Claim It Teas wants to do.
Awesome. We have one more joining us. She will be on shortly. Her name is Tammy with Kiss by Lacey. And I'm your girl, Autumn, ADQM, that innovative business consultant. So definitely here to change the game up. So with all of that being said, I see Tammy on. Let me bring her on board really quick.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, we just went ahead and quickly introduced ourselves really fast.
That's cool.
I ain't say that much, so come on now.
My name is Tammy. I'm with Kiss by Lacey. I am with Kiss by Lacey, where we believe that everybody deserves to be kissed, and we want to start by kissing your sense of smell with our scented candles. And I'm just ready to dive into what we got going on tonight.
Awesome. So we're talking about networking. The importance of networking. We're bringing networking to you from a business owner perspective and from, I think, a personal perspective. The networking is so big, but I think it's so overlooked. And networking is kind of what brings us to where we're at today with all of us six on here. The connection I have with Jolinda that came on from Jack's Chambers. Networking is powerful, even for what Guadalinum did for Juneteenth. I mean, how big is networking? So if we can just kind of give an overview of the importance of networking, so that way people can really see what it's all about. Anybody want to chime in?
Networking is, for one, I network everywhere I go. It's not just when I go to a quote unquote network event. Where I'm everywhere I'm at, I'm talking about my business or finding out about what other people do, because you never know when your path's going to need to cross for a future venture or not. More so, I'm finding out about what other people could do so I could get behind what they do, because that's just in my nature. If I find talk to someone who owns a construction business, my mind is automatically thinking about who do I know that's in construction. What can I do to help you further your reach? And that's just in my, like I said, in my nature to want to help you, because I think not enough of that is going on in, especially in small businesses. You got a lot of people who have the answers and don't want to share the answers. They want you to get it the same way they got it. They want you to struggle the same way they struggle. And I do not believe in that. Whatever it took me 20, 40, 30 years to do, I want you to be able to do in 5 years. And that's just, like I said, that's in my nature. And so I'm always networking. If I'm at church, in the grocery store, gas station, I'm always getting to know people and let people know my heart. A lot of people are nervous about networking because they don't want to talk. But if you enjoy what it is that you do, why is it so hard to talk about what you do?
Right.
Somebody somewhere has need for what it is that you do, whether it's accounting, get you together herself, life coach, t-shirts, tees, entertainment, candles. Somebody needs what you do. And if you're the one that's stopping that person from receiving what it is that you need, then that's something that you got to work on, getting over that fear of talking. Because like I said, if this is something that you do and you do well, then why is it hard to talk about? You should be your best salesman. Nobody should be able to sell what you do better than you. Nobody. But one thing that I always do is I don't talk about what it is I do until I find out what it is that you do. Because when people have this little radar, if they feel like you're trying to sell them, they automatically stop listening. I don't want to buy anything. That's it. And so my approach is, it is not just like it's easy in the ticket, because I always forget to sell my event. I really truly want to know what it is that you do and know how we can work together on a grander scale than just exchanging product for resources or for funds. And so I would suggest, if you're new to networking, don't automatically say, hey, my name is so and so and I do this, and this. Find out, get to know people on a personal level. When I have a business meet for the first time, we're not even talking about business. I'm trying to get to know you. What is it that you do? How do you tick? How do you run? What are the things you like, dislike? Because if we can't connect on the personal level, I don't want to do business together on the business level. And that's just me. And so I know, I'm sorry, I get off my I didn't mean to monopolize, but networking, that's one thing I don't see how people don't network. I know people
You're
from
good.
everywhere, all kind of wakes of life. I know it. It's crazy, but because you never know. And if I got to buy a service or a product, I'd rather put it into somebody that I see every day. And why would I go to Walmart to buy candles when I know somebody who makes candles? Why would I go to these major companies to do my accounting when I know someone who does accounting? Why would I go
Mhm.
to these people who do major life coaching when I know someone who does life coaching? I mean, I'd rather put the money into small business owners' hands, because they are the ones who build the community. Without a small
Right.
business owner, you don't have a community. Those major corporations come in and take your money and leave back out. They don't care about you. They don't put back into your community, and they're not the ones you see every day. So,
I
Anybody
always
else?
tell, I'll go. I always tell my kids, a closed mouth don't get fed. My mom used to say that to us all the time. So if you don't say something, then more than likely nobody's gonna know what you do. But at the same time, I remember when I first started getting into, like when I first started with network marketing and all the other stuff that I used to do, and you can ask Autumn, I was scared to talk to people. And I think it's, we don't like rejection for one, but at the same time, we don't know what to say. So when you're getting into a business, it's a learning experience. You're gonna learn what to do, what not to do, what worked and what doesn't work. And like Carissa said, it's important to get to know the person that you're talking to, but you also got to read between the lines, listen to what they're saying so you know what they want. Because there's been plenty of times that they may not need a candle, but I know somebody need a resume done. Hey, my girl, and I'll talk her up, give them her information. So it's not just me networking for me. I network for other people that I know that have other services that other people can use. Because one thing is for sure, if I can give them somebody that they need, when they know somebody, they'll do the same for me. And that's how I look at it. And that's how you continue your network without you being there. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
No, that's good. That was good stuff.
I was going to say, I can piggyback off of that because what I was going to say is it's like having extra eyes and ears out there. So, to, gain access to resources that, I mean, it's just efficient. Networking is an efficient way to help other people out and yourself. It's like having extra eyes and ears out there. It's just a really efficient way to grow a business, and help other people grow theirs.
I agree.
Yeah, and I definitely like.
Okay, Wally.
Definitely, what I want to touch on is making sure, like Carissa and Tammy said, like you are genuinely trying to build that relationship because, like Tammy touched on, when you're not in the room, you can still be a topic of discussion. Because if they had a genuine conversation with you, and they're like, "Wow, I met Wadleen, and I didn't have a need for her services at the time, but." She is top of mind because I genuinely had a nice conversation with her. We built a connection. So now you have other people making connections for you without you even having to be in the room. So definitely just go out to have the intention to make a genuine connection and not necessarily, because I need this done really bad, or because, or because I need to make a sale. But really focusing on building that relationship and building that connection with the individual that you're speaking with.
That's good.
One of the things I wanted to say, well, actually, it's a couple of things. I've been making my notes. One of the things I wanted to say is people who don't know how to build personal relationships don't know how to build business relationships. Because as I say weekly, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you have trust issues, if you have problems making friends, if you have problems connecting to people, that's going to run over in your business, and you're always going to be faced with an issue when it comes to you networking and building relationships, when it comes to building real relationships. So a lot of what happens is when you have someone who has low self-esteem, insecurities, who are paranoid that someone's trying to either steal their idea or steal their customers, you'll find that they don't really do well at networking. Another point that I wanted to say is some people make the mistake of wanting to network with people who are like them. And because you sell donuts, you want to network with other donut sellers, or you want to network with other people who are in the food industry. But you will have a greater gain if you network with people who are totally not in any of the field that you do, because what that does is it's going to open up your business to their audience. So, and that's what networking is about. It's making the connection is good, but who you really wanted to connect to is their customers. So if I got 10 customers and all of you all have 10 customers, we network together, we all end up with 50 customers instead of the 10 customers we have. And a lot of people in business don't look at it, one in an aspect of relationship, or two in the net, in a means to be able to broaden your network.
That That's true. I also heard a lot of people say my time is money, right? So they don't want to take the time, like she said, to invest in genuine relationships. I think it was Wadeline and Tammy. People have to realize that time can actually bring you the profit, whatever you're trying to gain later on down the line. But it's the reputation, the value that you bring that is so important to make sure you continue, you know what I'm saying, to have that reputation. Hey, she's engaging. She listens. I found it so unique. A woman reached out to me, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and found my number information off of Google. And she called, like business related. But the impact that she made when she called, it was like, oh yeah, I'll meet you at at a Panda Express. You know, we'll talk over for a little bit. She was just like, kind of like, even still how she kind of reaches out and communicates, that networking that she gave to kind of reach me, it made an everlasting impact. You know, so I think that's pretty big as well. You know, don't be the one that just kind of stands still, doesn't go ahead and smile and reach out. You know, be that outgoing one to make relationships. I believe at Melanin Market, I remember Wadeline, her mom, the impact that you made. Rose with Tea, she went around after the end of it and made sure she collected everybody's business card to network with them. You know, like those things to me stand out. So like, hey, I remember you. I won't never forget you. That's pretty big. So
That also speaks to follow up. Remembering to follow up. Like to continue to build on those relationships after the first meeting.
Yes, got to. So since you bring up follow up, most people don't realize that there is really a time frame that you want to follow up. You know, so some people you may say, okay, I'm going to follow up and then do it a week later. You really want to be relevant. So it's within that 24, 48-hour period. You know, like that period is crucial because you want them to stay remembering who you are. Do y'all have any feedback on the follow up that most people don't realize?
Sometimes what I've learned is on my follow ups, sometimes I get a little lax, but what you're saying, the faster you do your follow up, they're more liable to remember you. So when you do your follow up, even if it's a text message, then you let them know, it was good talking to you tonight at such and such. That way they remember who you are. Because normally when they walk out of your face and 15 other people get in their face, they're not going to remember who you were unless you give them something to remember you by. So whenever you do your follow-up, make sure that you give them something of substance that you talked about with them so that they can remember you and where they met you at. So it'll ring a bell.
Yeah.
Also, people may not always remember what you said, may not remember your name, but they always going to remember how you made them feel. Always. And even when I'm at my event and no, I may not be getting business cards during the event. Afterwards, I may do that or before. But during the event, I'm going around saying, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you enjoying yourself? Is there anything I can help you with? And I'm dressed to the nines in heels. My feet be killing me. But I still make it a point to go around and introduce myself to my patrons and make sure they're okay and just loving on them. I've had people say, man, it just feels so different in here. And it's because my thing is to make you feel like family. My friend tells me all the time, Clarissa, you've never met a stranger. And that's just in my nature. I'm going to love on you without even knowing you. And so, and that, you can't imagine how many people see me, like just yesterday at the mall, and say, hey, you own Jazz Poetry Cafe. And I completely forgot her, but she didn't forget me. It's not that I intentionally forgot, but I see so many people. And it's because I take the time to love on them. They're like, no one ever did that. People just take your money and go about their business. But I truly care about making sure that you are enjoying yourselves. And then if you give me suggestions, implementing those suggestions. Just doing that, people are referring other people to me. I tell everybody about this. Oh, my mom wanted to meet you. Oh, my friends are coming out. Hey, I know somebody that can help you. People get behind me and say, hey, do you need this, and this? So just, if you're afraid to even talk business, make sure that you're always in the business of people. You can't go wrong being in the business of people. At the end of the day, I want to get to know you. Even if we never exchange cards, never buy anything from each other. I want to be in the business of knowing you and how I can be of service to you.
So since we bring that up, let's talk about how to network. I truly believe some people don't know how to network. You know, sometimes they may be scared or feared to go face to face. There's so many different ways to network. So maybe if we could all just mention a different way, we could end up providing 6 different tips on a way to network. Who want to go? I go.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, Tammy put me onto this app called Haystack. I got to give Tammy credit. Everyone, if you are a business owner or you have doctor's appointments, you need a virtual Rolodex. The app is called Haystack. You've got to download it. You take a picture, even at any vendor event, you can take a picture of a card that you grab and you can actually put it in that virtual Rolodex, but you can send them an email. The email can say in it sends them your business card as well, 100% networking. But I love the way your table was decorated with the candles that were the color red. However you want to personally identify them, they will never forget who you were, of how much attention you gave to them at their event. That is an awesome way of networking. To an extent.
There was something that stood out for me. Autumn, if you remember Will Power, if you remember him from our cohort 12, Will Power, he came up to me after a meeting and he, offered to take a selfie of us. And then took that selfie of us and then took the name and sent it to me. And that was the easiest, kind of fun little bonding thing to, very memorable. And we had a picture of each other and we had our phone numbers and then it was in the phone. Like, it just was so memorable. And we had a moment like, I remember his name. He's in my phone still, haven't talked to him since, but it was, except for the follow-up, but it was really different. I've never had anyone do that. And he says he does it every single time he meets somebody that he, wants to continue to be in contact with or wants to put in his Rolodex. So I thought it was really clever.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another way that you can network is by hosting an event and inviting people out to introduce them to what you're doing. A lot of people may feel like, oh, what I do is a service and not a product, but you can host an event and display your service. Or you can host an event and display your product. Introduce people to your information. And what I generally do is if I'm hosting an event, I will, even if it's a free event, require them to register because that's going to give you their phone number, their name, their email address. You can request the name of their business, and that builds a listing of people who the next time you have an event, you can invite them to. And when I was doing events, I think I got up to maybe 700 business emails. And whenever you're getting ready to do something, you already have an already built network that you can send your information out to. So hosting an event is a good way to start building and networking.
You have a question, Michelle, on the screen. Is there a website to find out about networking events?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a
lot of Facebook pages.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're. I think like here you got it's one on Facebook that I use all the time. Venting Vendors. You got Jacksonville Network or something like that. So it's a lot of them that's on Facebook. You just got to go out there and look and see if you find one that you really like. But always remember, if you're on those sites, please, 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 before you pay anybody, really check into that event because there's a lot of people out there that's trying to scam you too.
And that's what to be a vendor as well.
Right.
So definitely the scamming to be a vendor. You can actually use hashtags on Instagram to find out about vendor events as well. and then people searching for vendors or upcoming ones as well.
Yeah, and you could even if you just go to the search engine in Facebook and just type vendor events Jacksonville, and it'll pull up a lot of those pages. Also Eventbrite, you can check through Eventbrite, and it'll connect you to open events that people are having with vendor events. But again, as Tammy said, please be careful when doing those events because there are a lot of scammers. Like there's a list of questions that whenever you are doing a vendor event, you should be asking. Like, is this the first time you hosted this event? What does the audience look like? Are there some pictures from previous events? Who's going to be at the event? Because you'll mess around and you'll go to the event and it'll be 40 different people who selling the same product that you sell. Also, if you are a product consultant, you got to make sure that no one else who sells that same product is there. I know when I was hosting the all vendor event, like you there would be a lot of people selling the same product trying to get in that same event. So though there's like a list of questions you definitely need to ask before you give them your money so that you find out because you'll pay $500 for an event and find out it's the first time that they hosted it and they don't even know if the event is going to be a success. Don't find it no foul, no harm with asking questions. Is this the first time you've done it? How many people attended? Can I see some pictures?
Call
Like,
the venue.
right, right. Where's it going to be hosted? Where will I be located? Because if there are prime real estate when it comes to vending event where you want to be located. Um, yeah. You definitely want to be located. You mess around and you'll be in the back corner and it'll be 100 people there, but you only see 4, and that's the 4 people who went to the bathroom.
We need to have things on vendor. We need to do a live about vendoring events. Like I think we definitely need to do a live because that's like a whole nother, topic. Like it's an investment and it could be a win or it could be a complete lose.
Yep. Autumn, to go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier of the I cannot talk today, but of ways to network. One of the things that I did at this one time, I've done it once, but it's an actual good thing, and it comes when you're doing a vendor event to get to know the people that's around you because they are bringing their people to them. So say Michelle is bringing people that know her. They know she's going to be there, so they're going to be there, right? Yep. If she's next to me, I can get with Michelle and be like, I tell you what, for every, for everybody that comes and buys such and such a dollar amount from you, let them know that I'll give them 10% off or 5% off or something from my table, which is going to send people from her to my table that probably would have never even walked over to my table. So that brings more people into my area and vice versa. So if you get to know the people around you, especially that kind of goes with what you're doing, that can tie into what you're doing, that kind of gives you leeway with that person plus all of their people and gives them yours as well.
That's a good point.
I'm going to share another question. How are y'all networking during the pandemic? That's a really good question. So y'all ready to go? Go ahead. Look, go ahead.
Well, this right here.
Right here.
Right.
From our desk.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
there's a lot of Zooms and
they have. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all off. There's a lot of quote unquote networking events, but I really want everyone to think outside the box. Don't just go to networking events. Network at things that you like doing. When when I see an event, somebody saying, I don't know, I love music. So I'm gonna go to a music event just for entertainment, but I'm gonna wind up networking. I never go anywhere purely for entertainment. It starts off that way, and then I wind up striking a conversation with someone, and then there it is, I'm networking. So don't just think I'm gonna network when I'm at a networking event. Make it your way of life. Like I said, if you're in the grocery store and you're holding a conversation with someone, ask them what it is that they do for a living. That's networking. Have your business cards handy. I have
Yes.
magnets on the side of my truck, and people are like, "Oh my
Yes,
God, Jazz
that
Sports
part.
Cafe! I didn't know that was here." I got a business cards right there in my cup holder. Here you go, and here go a couple to pass out. I'm doing it at the traffic light. People on motorcycles next to me. Man, Jazz Sports Cafe. I'm giving my business card. It has to be a way of life. Don't just think about going to events, especially in this
Right.
pandemic.
I
Right.
think it's important to know responding to people. You see feeds all day, every day on social media. We're on social media now. Do you know how many people respond to other people they see? You see
Yep.
posts, respond to them. It puts your name out there. If you have a business page, you
Yes.
can respond on your business page to draw people to your site.
Mhm.
But you've gotta interact because they're not. You can't always wait for them to come to us. Sometimes we have to still bring it to them as well. So respond. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, loved your presentation. You could be engaging with a little bit amount of words, but you've got to
Mhm.
engage. You can't expect it back if you're not giving it.
Exactly. And what I hate the most is when someone is networking and then they're talking about their product or service and they don't seem that sure about it. I'm like, if you're not sure, I'm definitely not sure about investing in what you're doing. I'm
Also,
like,
being, oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I don't know who's talking next, but to answer her question too, I know I want to say thank you, Michelle, because I got the little notification. Somebody was looking for candles and she threw my name out there. Just like I went on somebody, I had a feed on my page and they were asking for business owners. I threw Autumn out there. I threw um Marche out there with her bonnets and her head wraps. So, and then I put myself out there. So if I see that it's something that somebody wants and I know one of y'all do it, I'm throwing your name out there. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll be
And
getting
I'm
you'll
Mhm.
be
the
getting a
tag
message on
your
the feed.
name.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's how you continue to do it while we're in a pandemic. Like, we can't really go out, but at the same time, we still shipping stuff out. So
I
that's how we
agree.
keep it moving.
I
So
one of the things that I had wanted to say was so I've kind of always been like that out of the box person. I've never been people's cup of tea. I don't know why. I guess because I tell people the truth and they don't want to be got together. So I created my own platform. So I started hosting my own events. I started hosting my own conferences. I started hosting my own network events. I created my own platform. So you don't see me on a whole bunch of people's flyer, but you will see me on my own flyer. Hello. So if you can't find what you're looking for, it may be because you need to create it. So if you're looking for vendor opportunities in a pandemic, create it.
Mhm.
I agree. I was talking to
Yeah.
Jolinda yesterday. Um, she was I brought up the reason for the response because just acknowledging and saying like thank you, or what I'm saying, this is awesome, or the feedback, it kind of brings them. I mean, it uplifts and motivates people. That stands out because not everyone, especially this time or so, is motivated. So just creating that support system is big. But I think always just recognizing someone, hey, you look beautiful today. It can actually lift them up and they're going to remember that.
mm-hmm.
I think anywhere that we can bring value, like if you're volunteering somewhere, in any organization that you belong to, online, in person, like anywhere that you can bring value, you bring value, people are going to remember you and want to talk with you some more.
Yep.
I agree. Finally, how do you network? What would be something that you would suggest? I know we don't talk about a lot. You got to hit that
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would say one thing is to keep an inviting demeanor. Because I know, some people just have resting,
Michelle.
like, like the resting face is just like uninviting. So you have some people have uninviting resting faces, and it makes you come off very unapproachable. So just kind of practicing a more inviting resting face, so people can feel like they can approach you without you giving off a "Hey, get away from me! I don't want you near me" kind of attitude. And I like that you all also mentioned with interactions on other people's posts and things like that. There's so many different Facebook groups. Like they are forms of networking. So like join a Facebook group out of the hundreds of thousands different kinds, like whatever you're interested in, whatever is even in your community. There's tons of Jacksonville groups, to hairstylists, to restaurants, to whatever you could name in Jacksonville. And if you're not in Jacksonville, in the city that you're in, join those groups and interact. People are always asking questions in those groups. So if you can answer a question like that has to relate to maybe the industry that you're in, then that's great for you. Or even if you have the answer to a question that somebody may have, that's also good as well. So definitely be open to answering other people's questions, joining these Facebook groups, and having a more inviting demeanor so that people can actually feel like they can approach you.
I agree. The facial expression is big. Like I think I was in Home Depot one time. The guy was like, "You okay?" And I was like, I was fully focused. Like I was concentrating. I was like, and he was like, "No, I'm good. Tammy, when we used to be at vendor event a couple of years ago, Tammy be like, "Autumn, you got to stand up when it comes to the table." She was like, "Smile." But it helps because later on, like you see improvement. You know what I'm saying? Like if you take it, the criticism that you get, it can help you to be a better person. So don't take it as bad as you get bad feedback as well. Like she said, create it, do something different with it. So I know we kind of go ahead.
You had somebody said, business cards, which is great. But right now, everybody is scared to touch something from everybody else. And that goes back to that haystack. You can create your business card on there so that you can send it out. So you're not spending money to get a whole bunch of business cards, but you can still send out. I've gone to events all the way in Orlando and left every last one of my business cards sitting here in Jacksonville. And I remembered that I had haystack. So I would send it to them. And once they got the little link through the text message, I had them to open it up so they could see and remember, that it was me. So that is a good way. The business cards is always wonderful, but you still put you one on that haystack so you always have one with you because you have your phone all the time.
Right. I put a haystack actually on the screen. Download it. When I tell you it is a free app, and when I tell you it is so resourceful. After every vendor event, I don't even have to worry about getting a rubber band or rolling up my business cards anymore. I don't have to worry about misplacing something. It's alphabetized. I just kind of go through it, and it's so easy. And when you update your card, they get your updated information all the time. So which is really good because if your logo changed, your email, phone number changed, Haystack does that for you already. But it's an awesome. Michelle, Dawn did ask if we can put some of those links to the Eventbrite in the chat as well.
Okay, I'll do that after the broadcast.
Gotcha.
Has anyone ever hosted a Twitter party? Someone told me about a Twitter party for networking. I'm not on Twitter, but it sounded interesting.
Look at that.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
I got on Twitter 2 days ago.
We might want to Google that. I don't know. We might be missing out.
Look, I got on Twitter because of Autumn, so I don't even know how to use it.
Twitter is like Instagram with the haystacks, but I think it's a whole nother level of marketing. It's a different approach to a different audience as well. But Twitter, like, let's get you together. Your quotes will go on Twitter. Carissa, your quotes will go on Twitter. Like, it is that verbatim, so it kind of keeps going. When Instagram is that visual. But yeah.
And that came to me just yesterday to start putting my quotes on Twitter.
I know I don't even use my Twitter. I need to.
How y'all post, like I'm gonna call them out, right? So on their feed, they got quotes. They got quotes for days and things like you can tap into it. It's another quote coming 2 hours later. Twitter is where them quotes go, and you can hashtag what they align with, and before you know it, people who knows where will be knowing your quote and what was said or how it was said. Yeah.
Look, my quotes be going for the juggler. You read them, you be like, dang.
Hey.
So I know we touched on a lot of the importance of networking, and we've been hitting on like different tips and so forth. But I wanted to talk about the personal aspect of networking. I think from this alone, we're more than just business friends. You know what I'm saying? We're like family in itself. So it's you have the opportunity to grow relationships to another level. So I think in anything that we do, I mean, there's always a balance, and then you can kind of determine where someone is in your life. But has networking, I'm pretty sure meeting a spouse, you know, different things like that. Maybe we can talk on some of the aspects of networking has brought outside of our business, which as a life coach, Michelle, it's the big picture, right? But it's the big picture.
Yes, absolutely. I will say that one of the quotes that I often say is relationship over revenue. And that comes with the networking. Like you network to build relationship. And once you build that relationship, revenue will come. Like, and that's one of the things that I stress when I do consultations for people who are interested in becoming a life coach who reach out to me as I tell them, you know, we don't just learn to coach, we do business together. And it's like I have classes that we're doing things. I have one class, they not only became life coaches, but they're getting ready to be published authors. And so because of the platforms that I have built, I take and I give the coaches access to those platforms. So they're wanting to build books. Me and one of the other coaches, we're creating a coaching pool. So there are so many different opportunities, but that comes from building relationship. And I tell people often, I can ask people for almost anything because I support people, I show up for people, and when I show up, I'm present. Like we can show up for stuff and not be present. Like how the song said, my body's here, but my mind is on the other side of town. You know, you gotta be present for people. And that goes a long ways. And what it also does is it builds loyalty. You know, I'm a friend. The friends I had 25 years ago, I literally still have. My friends from high school, we are still friends. And because I'm such a relationship driven person, for me, the relationship goes above anything else. Like there's nothing that our relationship cannot handle. And it's vital. It's so vital. Even Chantel, we work together, and I'm her work godmama. She used to sit next to me, and I would say that all the time. Relationship over revenue, because when you money driven, you'll do anything to get it. When you're relationship driven, you'll do anything to save it. Like, and we gotta be unapologetically in relationship, like, and that's in all relationships. You got to make sure that even in what you're building, and that's why going back to my first statement, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox, going back to my first statement, people who don't know how to have friends, people who don't know how to be in relationship, they have issues networking. You got to be able to first show yourself friendly. Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna put myself on mute.
She dropped bombs, right? And then she'd be like, I'm going on mute.
You know what I would add?
She does that. She really does.
What I would add to that is also what I find really helpful when networking is being expectation free. Like entering into these relationships, entering into conversations expectation free. So, you know, I go in, I know what I'm willing to give, and I give freely. without expectation of anything in return. And I think that that is, not only does that build authenticity, but and trust, but it just, I don't know, for me, it feels right, but, and it's been very, very beneficial. I don't give more than I can. It helps me to trust that what I'm giving is, I'm bringing all of me. Here I am. This is what I'm willing to give. And, and they don't have to give anything in return. So whatever they give in return, I'm always in a place of gratitude.
Yes.
And with that gratitude, I mean, it's just my experience with it has just been, feel good. I mean, there's just no, I feel good because I'm doing me, and I'm not, waiting for them to do anything in return or reciprocate. Like, there's no expectation. And so there's nothing to be disappointed about. I'm only finding good things, when I hold myself to that.
And that is so true. Like I say, going into relationships, no expectations, no letdown. When you don't
That's
have
right.
expectation, every hurt is connected to a letdown of an expectation. Like nothing else builds hurt except for disappointment of a spoken or unspoken expectation. Listen, Jolene, I was in action for your cash app because girl, you was preaching. And another thing I wanted to follow back up is when she talked about what you give to people. I often say that, you give people the overflow. Like what's in your cup is what you need. We become run down, ragged, and frustrated when we give people the stuff that we need. And you need what's in your cup. Like that's why our cups overflow. You give away the overflow, not what's in your cup. When you give away what's in your cup, you're gonna be hurt. No expectations, no letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. Like I cannot believe we at the 8 o'clock mark already because I feel like we just get into the hype of it and then it kind of like goes in. I know we're all different business owners, and I know this is SBO's prime time. So the balance of what we have in life is obviously what we're going to bring to our business. But if each one of us can actually chime into how we network on the different levels of businesses we have, just to kind of give some broad ideas of a networking aspect, because we got entertainment, we got claimants, we got accounting, like we have so many aspects. So if you're thinking you're struggling with networking, it's really not that. There's a way and a resource, and there's someone here you can connect with as well. Tammy, you want me to give it to you first? How do you network for your business as a small business owner?
How do I network? I have to quit judging books. That saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know what you bring to somebody or what somebody brings to you. So you just, I just gotta, I stop being afraid to go up and talk to people. I will just talk to you and I'm just listening at what you say. And maybe at the time I don't have anything for you, but at least I got to know you and I'm gonna keep in touch with you. So just talking for me is just talking to people. It pulls me out of my shell. So I just keep doing the same thing and just keep talking.
That's what's up. Carissa, how do you network as a
Oh
small
God.
business owner for your business?
Oh my goodness. Aside from being social with everywhere I go, I don't mind humbling myself to uh, learn what someone else does. I am good for asking people, other business owners, can I shadow you? Can I see what it is that you do? I've paid to go on trips with people, even in the same industry as I am. Can I go with you when you go do that? Can I see what it is that you do? I'm always position myself to be a student. I always position myself to be a student. I'm always learning. I'm never to the point where I feel like I know it all. I don't mind saying, hey, let me see what it is that you do. Like they say, a jack of all trades. I know a whole lot about a lot of things. From everything from social media, from uh oh my gosh, everything. If I'm intrigued by it, I want to learn by it. And it's not because I'm trying to replace you and compete with you, what you're doing. I want to know what it is that you do and how can I fit in to help you. Once I learn what it is that you do, and I'm like, hey, I know how to do this. Do you need help with this? And then they were like, sure. And once I'm helping people without asking them for anything in return, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, hey, Carissa, I want to help you do this, this, and this. I forget. I got so many people in my network. I forget to reach out to people. I have that many people in my network. It's crazy. But I like I said, I always position myself to learn. I sell. Selling is second rate in my mind. I don't sell. I know how to sell. I could sell a man with no shoes, with no feet shoes. I promise you, and a hat. But my main thing is I'm investing in people. I'm investing in people. I want to get behind you.
I had it together until Tammy put her head back.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. And selling comes natural to me. But I know I hate to feel like I hate fast talkers and I hate feel like somebody trying to get over on me. So selling is not always my go-to when I'm talking to people. I want them to feel like they could trust me. I want them to know my heart that I'm going to get behind them and what it is that they're doing. And that I'm going to pull together resources to help them what they're doing. And so, and in doing that, my network just gets bigger and bigger purely because I'm investing in people. I invest in people first. And then my business, the money going to come. Never chase the money. Remember, I've said this before. Whatever you chase moves. You chase your dreams, they're supposed to move so they can stretch you. If you chase money, money will always be out of your reach. Chase your dreams and let money chase you.
Mm-hmm. Jolinda?
Wow, I do a lot of things to network. Let's see, there's a few. Like I limit my in-person groups to 3. I have 3 primary core group networking groups that I limit myself to. That way I can really focus on building relationships in those groups. Because I think there was a time where I spread myself too thin. And I watered myself down basically. Like it was, it was like just a little butterfly going through different groups and wasn't ever able to really offer any, hardcore time or service to the people within each group because I was spread too thin. So I limit myself to 3 core groups, and then I give generously in those groups. And then I also, further my education. Jax Bridges was a, furthering my education opportunity, but it turned into a huge networking, event for me. Like it was wonderful. So not only was I learning and building my business, but I was surrounded by some incredible people that I got to know on a personal level, and then even started my own networking group in order to bring them even closer. So and then really just anywhere that I can be of service is a way of networking. If I can be of service somewhere, that's probably my third thing I'm going to do it. Oh, and online, I to harken back to what somebody already said about posting, like there's different platforms out there. Quora is one that I use, Quora.com, and Medium, articles on Medium. By having my business name and a picture there, I can answer questions. And I can comment on articles and, anything that interests me or that might be aligned with my business. And people from all over the world will, can have access to me that way. And I have found that to be very rewarding and, full of opportunity.
That's awesome. While leaning on the screen. Coach Michelle, we're gonna come back.
Look, I had to change my thing like twice because everything I wrote down somebody said. I initially wrote down about investing in people. And then Carissa went on about investing in people. So we done heard enough about that. And then so the two that I narrowed it down to is a point I made previously. If you don't have a networking platform, create it. If it's something you've never done before, get with someone who has. Ask people, pay people to show you how to do what they do, or find someone within your network in order to be able to learn how to do it. And show up. I mean, there's nothing worse than someone in business with a bad reputation. I've had people who pay for vendor spaces and then don't even show up. So now it look like I'm missing people because I gotta pay for a table with nothing on it, or even in relationship, you always taking, but you're never there to show up when someone needs you. So I went through this season where like it was a mandate for me to show up to things that I was invited to. And showing up to that stuff that I normally would say no to opened up so many opportunities. It put me at so many tables that I normally would not be at, just simply because I wouldn't have on a regular basis attended it. And then after reading Lean In, it gave me a different perspective on when you're sitting at unfamiliar tables. Don't make yourself small. Lean in, glean, gather all the information from whatever it is that's being given to you. So my 2 points is create it if you don't have a platform, and show up.
That was big.
Yep.
Wildly, it's on you.
Yeah, my ways of networking is really, I mean, I use really a lot of different ways. I mean, like Carissa said, everywhere you go, use it as an opportunity to network, right? Because any interaction that you have with somebody is definitely an opportunity to network. So if I'm out, if I'm sitting in Teapot having lunch and I see someone come in, I say hello. I say hello to anyone. I'm like, hi, have a friendly demeanor. So overall, just be open and friendly. That's definitely what I do, and use every opportunity, a way of getting to know the person, because with every interaction, it's a learning lesson in that. So you don't like no matter who you may come across, there's something to be learned from that interaction. So definitely being open to all interactions, and remaining friendly, and using the platforms that are already available. They're readily available. They're here at your fingertips. Your phone should be producing money, right? If you can scroll down Facebook all day and Instagram and all that, you should be able to comment and interact with people. I know like now people are really behind technology versus, face-to-face interactions, but you can still network and interact with people and build a connection via the internet. So definitely utilizing those spaces to do so.
I agree. For me, I definitely would say face your fears. If you're not used to like being on these platforms and going live and different things like that, like Michelle said, show up. You know what I'm saying? Show up and show out. Do what you do to definitely brand yourself in business, but stand behind it. But I think the supporting others is big. So I have a lot of friends that may sell jewelry. If I'm working at the computer, I will have their live going, but I will be a number to be considered participating as well. So that way, I can keep them motivated and going. I think if I create a circle around me, all motivated and doing something, I will keep on pushing as well. So I think it's big to kind of keep this going, and I think being consistent. I have to hold myself accountable, and I got this from Coach Michelle. You have to be consistent. So that way, too, I make sure I stand for what I'm doing and show others to kind of do the same as well. I think that's the only way we build a network that continues to grow together and support each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I think this was awesome. I hope
This
y'all
is
like
good.
this platform. We definitely are gonna come back strong every time with new topics, different things, and join us. It's open. This is like we want to keep building and growing. So join us. This is what it's here for. Like, let's all grow together. Let's be on top. And let's take over.
Yes. Each one for each one.
Mm-hmm. Anybody have any final words at all?
Shut the fear up.
I told you that the other day.
I'm telling y'all. So there is Jolinda, is Maria a coach, or I think she's a coach too.
She's a coach. She's an author. She's
She's a coach.
yeah.
We gotta
Coach.
get her
She's an
on.
author. She's the dynamo.
Her business is Shut the Fear Up. That is
Stop it, I say.
look. We gotta get Marie on here, but her business is Shut the Fear Up. That is her.
What?
Yes, you gotta look
Yeah,
up.
isn't
Marie
it?
Cochran is the truth. Yeah.
I need to meet
Talk
her.
about being memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome. She definitely was a big impact. Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta meet her. Yeah,
She's awesome.
And she's so helpful and memorable and helpful and really is a perfect example of everything all of you ladies have been talking about tonight. She does it all. And look, we're talking about her right now. Like, we're talking about her and her business
really,
right
a
now.
form of networking.
Yes.
yeah.
So what a great way to end it, with an example of somebody who, embodies everything that we've just talked about, and having her come up naturally.
Yeah, she comes strong with, don't shut the fear up. She will tell you just like that. But it kind of makes you like, get yourself together. Like, she was a big help with our pitch Tuesday. Cause wait, shut the fear up. Come on, Autumn, let's go.
Exactly.
A special shout out to everybody with Jack Chambers. Cohort 12 is done.
Yes.
Cohort 10.
Shout out to cohort 12, the best cohort.
Cohort 10 is
Hey,
the
she makes
best.
towers. Cohort 13 may be started out.
Hey, exactly. Can I get in, please? Tammy, come with me.
Cohort 12 survived COVID.
Yeah. Shantae, her name is Marie Cochran. But she's awesome. I'm gonna tag her on this because I definitely can't call her out and she's not on here, but she's impacted a lot on this call, and she's amazing when you see her lives, her message, how she communicates.
Yes.
But get you together and shut the fear up. Them two together, woo, woo. That's a dynamo pack right there.
It's powerful.
Yeah. But y'all have a good night, and thank y'all so much for joining. See us next Thursday for SBO Prime Time. Bye, y'all.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.